Hi guys, Paula here. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be doing a look using some of the stuff I got in my recent makeup haul and trying to come up with just a fun look and try out these new products to see what's good and what's not. So thanks for joining me. Let's get started. Alright, first thing, I've already cleansed and primed. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty primer. It is called the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer, and it has a real just creamy, a little slightly iridescent look to it. There we go. It dries down really quick and it's not really sticky either, just moisturizing, but you can tell it's a little more than just a moisturizer. For foundation today, we're going to stick with Fenty, and we're going to do the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and I'm in the shade 190. And this is a nice little, I like the way it's shaped, the bottle, or whatever you want to call it. And it's got a nice little pump. So I'm going to pump a little bit. I'm going to do 2 pumps on the top of my hand. And we're going to be using our e.l.f. face sponge, which is already dampened, and it's nice and fluffy. I'm going to dip that in there, and we're just going to tap some around the face. That looks pretty good. Today I'm going to use some other cream products, so we'll do them at this stage. I'm going to use the Creme bronzer by Fenty. This is in the shade 03 Macchiato. And I'm going to use the Fenty face brush. It's a 125. It's a little angled. But it's a really great face brush. It's a little pricier, but I think worth it because it's such a good brush. And even though it looks darker, it really doesn't show up that dark on the skin. And I'm just contouring in the side of my cheek, kind of from the top of my ear towards the corner of my lip, but going just a little higher. I'm going to dab just a little under my lower lip and a little down the sides of my nose, just to kind of narrow that out, and tap just a little around my forehead. I'm going to use some powder bronzer later also, but this is just kind of a nice base. And then you can take it into your jawline just to kind of carve that out. My face is a little rounder, so a little illusion that I have a crisp jawline is nice. Cover up your double chin, and then I just blend it in really good because you don't want to look like you have like a makeup line right there. Alright, that's that. Looking good already. Now, got that all bronzed up. Now we're going to use some concealer. Today I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm still working on getting it to focus. Tarte Shape Tape, and mine is in the shade 22N Light Neutral. This is a lot of people's favorite. It's definitely full coverage. They just came out with a new one that is this Tarte Shape Tape, but it's creamier, so it's supposed to be a little more hydrating. Because some people think this is kind of drying. Get that hyperpigmentation and just match it on the other side. any little blemish I feel like is coming through. Then I'm going to do a little just down the center of my face to just balance out so you're not just white right there. We're going to take the e.l.f. sponge again and just blend this out really well. Going upward on that outer corner just to give it that uplifted kind of look right there. I always like to do my face first. Do any of you guys like to do your eye makeup first and then do your face and all that? I see a lot of people on YouTube. A lot of people do it both ways. But I don't know. I just feel like this is easier. I'm going to try it the other way one day though, just to see. Alright, now that we've got that on there, we want to set our cream products. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Reserve, make sure I say it right, Reserve York, I almost said my Cabana, Reserve Your Cabana. It's really a bronzer, but it's really, really light and it's great for setting under the eye. It's kind of hard to find. I don't think they make it a lot anymore. But you can still find it some places. I'm just going to tap that under the eye to set the concealer so it doesn't try to crease up on us. I definitely have some fine lines under my eye, so it likes to crease for sure. And I'm just going to hit the areas that I put the concealer, because this is a little brighter than what I'm going to use to set my face powder. Alright, now for the face setting today, I'm actually going to use, this is by Ciate. It's dirty, I know. It's the Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. It's translucent. A whole lot comes out when you tap it, so be careful. And I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush, tap it in there, and kind of tap it off. Looks white, but it's translucent. And then I'm going to just dust all these other areas that I didn't set. This is a really nice powder. It's very fine, and I don't think it makes your face look cakey or powdery, which I like. Alright guys, so we're back. I did my eyebrows and I primed my eyelids. For the brows, I used the NYX Microbrow pencil to kind of fill them in, and then I used the NYX Tame and Frame Pomade to kind of smooth everything down. And I set them with the NYX tinted brow gel in Brunette, all in Brunette, just to kind of set them and get like any powderiness out of them. And I prime also with a NYX Skin Tone eyelid primer. Alright, so we've got all that set and ready to go. Now I'm going to do my eyes. Today we are going to use the Canyon palette by Alter Ego. This is such a beautiful palette. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona bronze palette, which I thought was so beautiful, but it's quite expensive, and this was not bad at all. I think it was $12 or $13, but I'll put that in the description box. But we're going to do a nice bronzy look today on the eyes and see what we come up with. I never really plan it. I just dive into the palette and see what happens. So here we go. I am going to start, always clean it off on my wrist or a paper towel with a little fluffy blending brush. It's kind of a smaller one, not super fluffy. And I'm gonna start with this shade right here. This is called Rattlesnake. And this is just a transition color that I'm gonna put in the crease. Kind of in the crease and fade it upward. And you can't blend too much. It's a really pretty color. Alright, we'll do the other eye. This has a pretty good color payoff. I should have dipped lightly just in case it was going to be super pigmented, but it's not bad. It's a good amount of color. Make sure they look alike. Alright, now I think I'm going to go in with a little darker of the browns. This one right up here, it's a little more rustier. It's called Mule. And I'm just going to very slightly do it because I can tell it's a darker color. And I'm going to put this just right in the deep part of the crease. I'm not going to fade it up towards my brow bone very much. Just right in the crease. And kind of just buff it into that area. Do the same thing on the other eye. Blend that in really nicely, and that gives us a little more depth in the crease there. Now I'm going to take something a little darker and just put on the outer corner. They have a super dark here, which is dark, 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 really almost black. It's called Expanse, but I don't want quite that dark, so I'm going to use this color right here called Russet. Same thing, I'm just going to barely tap the tip and just focus on a little V shape right here in the outer corner. Back here just so I get it as dark as I want it. I want it to kind of give me a good shadow there on the outer. Blend it up in the crease just a smidge. Alright, once I get that placed, I'm going to take a nice clean, like more fluffy brush, and I'm going to do some more blending. Just to make sure everything's nice and blended in well. Blend it up near the brow bone, in that corner, the crease. I want that to all look very seamless. Alright, so I'm liking that. Now I want to do something on the lid that's a little sparkly, super bronze. Lots of bronzy colors to choose from here. So I want something I think that's going to pop a little more. So I'm going to use this one right here called Cougar. And I'm going to use my finger to apply this because you always get kind of a better color payoff when you do that. You can also try it with a brush and see. Some shadows, if they're super great, you will get a good color payoff just with the brush. Or you can wet the brush. So a lot of times I like to put it on with my finger, and then I'll take like a smaller flat shader brush and dip it in there, and then just kind of pack it on top of there just to get it a little even more intense. And I'm just kind of blending it into that outer corner where we did the darker. That looks really nice. Now I'm going to do a little pop of a highlight right on the center of my eyelid. I'm going to use this really goldeny shade down here called Coyote. The other one was more like a goldy bronze, but this is like a gold. So I'm going to take that and just pop it right in the center of the eyelid for a little halo effect, or spotlight they call it. See if it shows up. It may not be bright enough. I'm going to try this other color called Cliff. It's also super gold. Yeah, that definitely shows up even better. And I'm just gonna blend those edges in. Okay, that looks nice. A little bit of fallout, but really not much. We'll clean all this up as we go. I'm going to do a little bit of that now. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just swipe real lightly. Clean that up. Now, under my eye here, I want to do a little bit of a color, and I'm going to take a really tight flat brush so that I can just really stay right on that lower lash line. And I'm going to go in with a little mix of the Rattlesnake and Mule, which is the two I use like in my crease. So I'm going to dip a little bit of those two together and just go right along the lash line and blend it right up into that corner. And I'm going about 2/3 of the way across. And if you think it's too dark, just take the lighter color and buff it out a little bit. And now for the inner part, I want to keep that a little bright. So I'm going to take that lighter gold shade Cougar that we used on the lid, and I'm going to put that right on the inner corner just to keep it a little sparkly. If you like it to sparkle. And the only thing this palette is really missing is a really light shade that you could like highlight your inner corner and your brow bone with. So when I do my highlight, I'm going to use it for that. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to take my fluffier brush again and blend that in so it's seamless. I like to pull it out to the corner. I just kind of like it like that. And then when you're done, you can always take your sponge and I kind of clean that up a little bit. get any fallout or creasing out of there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you that up close. And we're going to do some eyeliner and lashes, and that's going to make it pop. So I'm going to use, because I used in my other video the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof. I know you can't read that, but it's in the Ultra Black Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. It's supposed to last 16 hours. I really loved it, so I'm going to use that again. I'm not going to really do like a wing today. I'm just going to do a little line along my lid just to hide the lash band when I put the lashes on. And this worked super well in my inner corner because I had mentioned before that a lot of these that I use, they bleed and feather, but this one, sorry it's hard to talk and do this, I'm not the best at liquid liner, but the more I practice the better I get. I tested it on my hand in my last video and I could barely wash it off, so it was super waterproof. Sorry. I really love the point on this. Like, it's super fine. So I kind of start thinner. Oops, I just messed up a little bit. Got a little wonky right there. But it looks okay. I'll tell you one thing I've learned about liquid eyeliner. If it's just a little off, just go with it. Because when you start trying to fix it and add to it, it gets too thick, it gets crazy, just let it go. Especially if you can wear lashes, you probably won't even see it. So we've got that little line there. You can see that's a little wonky. But it just goes on super, the tip is so fine. I've used a lot of these and I really, really like this one. Alright, so we've got that. I am going to put on some mascara. Today I'm going to use the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. I love this mascara. It like super defines and lengthens, and if you do coats it'll volumize your lashes. The new Maybelinne Sky High is very, very similar. The wand on this one I would say is a little more flexible. Not as pokey. If I'm putting on fake lashes, I don't feel like I need to put like a ton of coats on before I do that. Because I'm going to put a little more on once I get the lashes on there. Come up close so you can see this. It's a nice mascara. It's very black. I really like it. I'm going to do a little on the lower. I don't like to get too crazy with my lower lashes because it tends to leave little marks on the under eye where I blink. I've done a lot of research on that, and this says just because that area of your eye is very oily, it will break down the mascara and just fade a little down there. But I do notice some mascaras are better than others. But I'm just putting a little bit down there. You could stop here if you wanted to, but I am going to pop on some lashes just to get those on there and see how they look. Give me just a minute. I'll be back with my lash. Alright guys, I'm back. I put on my eyelashes. They're very light and natural. I don't really like heavy crazy eyelashes. Put those on, and then I added a little mascara just to blend my natural eyelashes into it. Now, before I'm done with the eyes, I'm going to take, this is a ColourPop cream gel eyeliner, and this is in Get Paid. It's like a bronze shade. The old hand trick, there we go. In a bronze shade, and I'm going to put this in my waterline. It'll brighten it a little bit, and it kind of really matches our bronze look we have going on here. I just love these ColourPop gel eyeliners. They're so pretty. They stay. They don't blur or smudge. Love, love, love. Alright, now we're going to do a little face work. Alright, first thing I'm going to do a little bit of bronzing. I'm going to use the Maybelline City Bronzer, one of my favorites, in 200. So I'm going to take a little fluffy, slightly angled brush, dip that in there, and just kind of accentuate the cream bronzing that I did. Sort of just contouring a little bit and blend that in. Go along the hairline. This really warms your face up and just looks nice. A little right there, a little here, a little there, a little on the jawline, double chin. Blend that down your neck really, really good so you don't get any crazy lines. Alright, so that's really kind of to contour everything, and then I take, yes, another bronzer, and I use a big fluffy brush. This is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and this is in the shade Brazilian Glow. This is like a shimmery bronzer. You can see it has a little glow to it. It's not matte like the other one I just used. This just is to kind of warm up the face, not really to shape it. Adds a little glow. It's not super crazy, and it smells delicious. It's like a day at the beach. Alright, so yes, we're bronzed to death. Now we're going to do some highlight. I'm going to use my new Hello Halo by Wet n Wild. This is in I Met Someone. It's a duo. It has a highlighter and a blush, but the blush is super like shimmery, so you could almost use that as a highlight or an eyeshadow. I don't like my brush that that shimmery because it emphasizes my texture. Actually, let me put some blush on first. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild powder brush in Nudist Society. Alright, so I'm going to take my brush, dip that in there, and do the blush kind of high and in an upward motion. This, everything should be going up like that. It just gives you a real uplifted look. This is a really, it's not super pigmented, maybe just for my skin tone. So it feels like I put a good little bit on there just to get a color payoff. But it's a real light, natural looking blush, which I like. So there we go. Now, for the highlight, I'm going to take a little domed brush. Because it's got little, when it's domed, it's got a little edge for picking up a little more highlight. So we're going to take some of that and we are going to highlight just on the cheekbone. Woo, look at that. That's a highlight right there. Do this side. And don't panic. If you feel like the highlight's a little crazy, I'm going to do the bridge of my nose, skip a little bit, and do the tip. Then I'm going to do a little, I'm very barely touching my skin because I don't want like a white blur line, but just a little highlight on the corners of my forehead. My Cupid's bow. And super light on the chin because I don't want to look greasy. If you love a good glow, this is bringing it to the park. That's gorgeous. Now, after I have highlight, blush, bronzer, I like to blend it in a little bit. You could leave it just like this and it'd be like, ooh, I'm glowing. Or I take just a big fluffy brush and kind of blend it in a little. Blend it in with the blush and the bronzer. Just, I don't know, I just think it was a little seamless, but you still get plenty of glow payoff. Ooh, that looks good. Alright, now last thing we're going to do is the lips. I am going to take the NYX retractable lip liner in Nude. I love this lip liner. It's like the exact same color as your lip practically. One day when I'm feeling bold, I'm going to try some overlining, but I don't like to get crazy. And I just fill it in just a little bit. Kind of spread that out. That just defines the lips. Then I am going to use a MAC lipstick. This is MAC, and it is in Honey Love. It is a beautiful nude color. I just feel like nude goes everything, especially with bronze. It's matte. That's kind of what it looks like if you were going to leave it alone. But I'm actually going to take a little bit of a gloss. This is by Stila. It is Beauty Boss lip gloss, and this is in the shade Kitten. When you look at it, it looks definitely pearly, but it's not like got chunks of glitter in it. I really like it. It goes on super smooth. It is not sticky at all. It feels like you're wearing lip balm. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So that's our finished look. Now we're just going to do a little setting spray. Today I'm going to use the e.l.f. setting spray. This is just Makeup Mist and Set. Shake it up really good. Like a lot of spray. It kind of makes it look a little more dewy. It mats that powder down into your skin so nothing looks cakey or like thick and cakey. That's what I mean. I love a bronze look. I've been seeing them everywhere and I've just been wanting to be super bronzy. Maybe I'm just ready for summer. So that's got to dry down for a second. And that's it. That's the finished look. I'm going to get close so you guys can check it out. When I get close, I feel like it gets a little darker, but you can see better when I'm back here. Oh, I love it. I'm in love with that highlighter. I'm so in love with it. I'm gonna rub a little more on there. Beautiful. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm new to the game, so I appreciate any of that, just to help get people watching my videos. And if you love this look and made it to the end of this video, drop a heart in the comments, and that way I know you made it. If there's something else you'd like to see a different look with the same palette, anything you'd like to see, let me know. We'll check it out and try a new look. Bye guys.